The non-surgical nose job, is it worth it? Well, it kind of depends what you're expecting it to achieve and on how long you're hoping to have results for. So it isn't suitable for everyone with a nose concern. But if you have a lump or a bump that's in the center of your nose that you would like to smooth out, or you're keen to try and elevate or lift the tip of your nose a little bit, it can be extremely useful as a technique. And even though we're adding filler to the nose, we're using it in such small amounts and very strategically that the illusion is afterwards of a smaller nose that's maybe more proportionate. What it's less good at is if we're looking to straighten out a deviation, for example, because that can mean that you end up with a nose that looks wider than it did to begin with, and that illusion of the nose looking smaller is somewhat lost. Also, when we treat off towards the sides, it can be a riskier procedure. So it's really important that you're in the hands of an expert who can assess whether this is the right procedure for you in the first place. Many patients may have thought about having a surgical rhinoplasty in the past and decided against it for whatever reason. It might be that the risks of surgery are a deterrent to them, or that they can't manage the downtime because the bruising and swelling can be quite significant, and to fully recover after a surgical rhinoplasty, the tissues can take about a year or so before they're completely settled. So a non-surgical rhinoplasty can give people a good taster. In the right candidates, it means they can see if they like their appearance with the shape of their nose slightly altered. And so it can be something that people try before they then later go on to have surgery. Or it can be something that they decide, this works really well for me and for my needs, I'm never going to consider surgery. Both of those are options. But to achieve that sort of satisfaction, it's really important that we select our patients carefully and that you're only having the procedure if it is a good option for you. What we have to remember with fillers around the nose area is that this is one of the highest risk areas of the face to inject. And so you really must do your due diligence on who is injecting your nose, making sure that they're appropriately qualified, that they have the appropriate medical and aesthetic expertise, and that they're aware and trained in how to manage complications and have an emergency setup should you need any support or help after your procedure. All of these things are really important to ask about and to consider. If you are an appropriate candidate, it can be a life-changing procedure for you, and it really does have such high satisfaction rates, as many of my patients will tell you. It's something that, even though to others it might seem so slight, has a really big impact on so many people's self-esteem. When we look at a face, we automatically go from the eyes to the mouth, and obviously the nose is in the middle. It's such a focal point of our face, and one of the first things that other people notice about us and that we see in ourselves when we look in the mirror. If this content has been useful for you, please give it a thumbs up or send me a little message below, and please do subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this.